This is a seawall inspection in Marina Key, 913 Lakeshore Drive in Lake Park. We're going to just inspect the seawall, the panels, the radiuses, the T-piles and the batter piles and the cap area to look at what the condition is. There's a very large area of space between the structures, the buildings, and the seawall with open grass and a big pool area. And we're going to just look and see what kind of structural condition the seawall is in. This inspection is conducted by S.M.D. on November 6, 2014. Looking at the seawall, as we said, it's looks like 9-foot or 10-foot panels with king piles and batter piles going more or less adjacent to one of the pilings, closer to, not center, but close to pilings. You can see the some of the cracking in the cap in the face, rust bleeding going through it. That's usual, could be repaired, and if left, we'll definitely start expanding the rebar and will cause failure of the rebar that is close to these cracks. You can see here on this panel, it appears that there was some form of damage. It looks like there's a lot of back pressure on this panel. It looks like it was attempted at a repair, and the repair didn't really last very long. That should definitely be addressed. There is no weep holes that we can see right now, which, you know, if you look at the height, you have about 7 feet of pressure from that to down here when they're low tide, as we are at this moment. There is a little bit of rock that was put down here to help prevent some erosion, but all the seams are open on the T-pile and the king piles, and that means that between the panels it will just release during rains. So definitely a good idea to create radiuses, and then obviously it would be highly recommended to put some jet filters in this, as this is a very high panel with no weep holes to release the pressure from the land side. I'm going to go a little bit more towards the southern end of the property. The property was measured at about 630 linear feet, the seawall. You can see some of the panels are getting cracks in the corners, on the top corner. I'll show you now. And there's definitely a lot of the horizontal cracking on the cap facing out, and then we'll also look underneath. A lot of times when you see those cracks on the face, there are also cracks underneath the cap. See, there's a cracked panel right there. And then again, there's no radiuses whatsoever on any of the king piles. So that's kind of odd, as this, you know, allows the seawall to release water and sediment, not just water. You can see the borderline of the property. There's the gate. There's another panel here. There's another cracked corner in the panel right there. Come close to it, in case I'm missing it because of the light. The hairline crack. Structurally, it looks good, relatively in fair condition. This panel here has damage. Well, it's not damage, it's really a pipe that was probably attempted at sealing it, and it didn't do a very good job, and you can see it in the around the panel too. So that needs to be resealed as well. And all the radiuses should be redone. This T-file here is showing also rust bleeding and a batter file from the cracking in the rebar. Probably a good idea. This is the southern tip. It's one of the neighborhood drains here, and you can see right here, there's a big crack here, and here the distance. This is all allowing earth to erode through the cracks in the panel, and then obviously all around here needs to be repaired. Underneath the cap, see the rust bleeds. Not unusual, but it's maintained early. It will save in the long run. The cap will be preserved for much longer, and obviously if jet filters are put in, and all the back pressure from the wall. Right here we have some corner breaks on the cap. Some areas that get damaged by continuing here. So now we're basically backtracking towards the point that we started. Again, giving you see some of the large gaps here between the king pile and the wall, like here, and you have to put my hand in there. So that should really be sealed. The issue with having the rock here, it has its positive thing, but the negative is that you do not see erosion coming from underneath the footer of the wall. So there's no way to inspect it. And this is one of the major causes of seawall failure, is due to hydraulic pressure that is built behind the seawall, and then it undermines underneath the seawall or through the cracks, and topsoil is lost. Okay, so this is where we entered, and now we're going, direction of movement is north. Again, you can see the horizontal cracking in the cap and the rust bleed, and there's no radius is built. There's another area we can see the bottom and the cracking occurring right next to the rail. And right here I'll show you. This is a big gap. Alright, so here we are. And this is the seam between the panels, and it's basically open. So anytime it rains and there's a lot of water pressure, earth would come through those cracks, because it's the entire length of the panel. These are panels that are connected, and the king pile is in front of them. This pile over here has got considerable longitudinal crack and some rust bleed. Better to repair that. And again, you can see the general condition is repeating itself with the hairline cracks in the cap and missing radiuses from all the king piles. I don't see any more damaged panels, so up to now there's 2 that really needs to be addressed, with another 3 that have cracks, and those should also be, so it's 5 panels up to now. Here it gets a little deeper, and you can see right here the panels higher. Again, longitudinal longitudinal cracking. Right there you can see the rust bleed and lack of radiuses on the keen piles. We are now more or less at an average low tide, so it gives us a good opportunity to see everything and examine the panels in their entirety. Right here, another longitudinal crack. Here there's one of the storm drains. It had some stainless frame put onto it, and you see around that panel there's some work to be done. There's a crack leading right to it on its left corner. And again, radiuses are completely open. Nothing to contain and to allow sediment not to escape. So we're approaching the southern tip of the property. Another king pile with some rust bleeds on it. Structurally the seawall is good. There's no failure issues right now. It's not capped is solid, it's not bowing, the panels are straight. The batter piles were installed properly, they didn't fracture any of the keen piles while they did it. It's probably built at the same time. I don't see any signs of tiebacks. They probably wouldn't have them because of the keen piles, the batter piles, sorry. So, you can see the northmost end of the property. There's another cracked panel in the corner. You can see signs of areas that were filled. Holes that were to lower the panels in, and they were just not filled entirely. So this concludes our inspection of the seawall at the city of Lake Park. And that's it. This concludes our survey inspection November 6th, 2014 in Palm Beach. Thank you.